we're at the Labour Party conference to, as you know, it's the 30th anniversary of the POA losing the right to strike or take any form of industrial action. And we're hoping to campaign and lobby members of Parliament in order to get our right to strike back or to take our industrial action.
It's very busy here, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's early days, but we're 11 weeks in, and I believe, as you would expect, that we're going to make a difference. It's going to take some time, but I believe that Angela Rayner, our Deputy Prime Minister, has said that within the 100 days, as promised, we will be bringing in legislation around strengthening trade union rights. So I'm looking forward to that. That will definitely be my favourite vote, if there is such a thing, when that comes next month.
Really, really big conference on a much larger scale than the TUC. And it's right that we should attend these conferences and try and influence people who are in power.
It's the first time a minister has the words employment rights in their job title for well over a decade. I think that's something that's a sign of the commitment from this government. But of course, now is the time for us to deliver on our promises. Why the New Deal is so important. Looking at what the last government left us with: insecure work endemic, wages stagnating, and trade unions coming under repeated attacks from central government. As I say, the attitude is, I think, markedly different already in terms of our approach to collective negotiation and bargaining.
Thanks very much, Joe. And it's an absolute delight to speak on behalf of the POA at such a packed audience. I think we all welcome the New Deal, of course we do. And I'd like just to thank a few people in respect to that. Of course, John Hendy, KC, and Thomson Solicitors, Andy MacDonald, Angela Rayner, and of course the affiliated unions, but obviously the non-affiliated unions as well, who fed stuff in through the TUC General Council, such as my union, PCS and RMT, and others who aren't affiliated to the Labour Party.
The trade unions have to fight for their right to exist and fight to achieve stuff on behalf of their members.
But I think we've got an obligation to try and push that agenda to ensure that our children actually, from a young age, have been taught about trade union education and the history and the value when they actually get to the age of 16, 17 to join a trade union. Because it's important that people understand the issues of Wapping, Orgreave, the Shrewsbury, 24 and different things, because it's a very important part of our history.
We just recently attended a fringe meeting with Justin Mathers, who is doing the New Deal for Working People, introducing that to the Labour government. We think that we should be part of the New Deal for Working People, and we lobbied Justin Mathers regarding that.
We're trying to get meetings with decision makers, which has proven very difficult at this moment in time, which is really disappointing, but we'll keep the pressure on and see what comes of it. We've still got another couple of days to go. I mean, when I'm at conference, I always spare at least 5 minutes for anyone who wants to talk to me, so I don't see no reason why they can't do the same for us, but let's see what happens. So he said the same things that we've been saying all along, that he's aware that we don't get trained enough, the training's not fit for purpose, that we've lost a lot of experience, that he needs to improve our work skills. He went on about short sentences, how to reduce the female population. So all the things that we've been saying, he's singing from the same hymn sheet, but it's dealing with the Treasury and convincing other government ministers to go down the right path. He seems to be a man of his word, so let's sit down with him and let's see what he comes up with.
We've also spoken to other trade unions who support us in our cause. So hopefully, yes, it's going to be a worthwhile visit.
As a staunch trade unionist, I want to see all workers have the right to be a member of a trade union, and have the right to go out on strike if they deem that that's necessary, because their employers, whoever they are, whether that be private, public sector, government, if they're not doing as they should, then they should be able to withdraw their labour. So I'm always behind workers in dispute, and I think that they should absolutely get their rights to strike back. I mean, the right to withdraw your labour is absolutely a human right, and if you deem, regardless of what your employer thinks, regardless of who they are, that if you want to withdraw your labour, you should absolutely have the right to do that. Simple as that. It's a human right. Yeah.
In the last few months, I think a lot of credit should go to Mark and Steve. As the press officers of the POA, I know how much work they put into it. They're working from early in the morning to late at night, travelling many, many miles, doing national and local media, social media. A lot of credit to Mark and Steve for doing all that work.
It's getting noticed and raising the profile of the entire union and making people aware of our workplaces, how violent they are, and the fact that we've got to do that till we're 68. And we're getting a lot of media interest again. Done a few radio interviews this morning about certain issues. So again, it's all worthwhile, and it serves the membership, doesn't it? That's what it's all about, raising their profile and making people aware of how difficult their job is and how restricted they are as a trade union. And as long as I'm available, I never turn down anything to raise the profile of our members and do the best I can for them. That's what this is all about.
I'm just talking about the fundamental right to strike.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which you
In
should
relation
have.
to it,
I'm kind of surprised that we're even having to do this, to be honest. I mean, it should be a given. Steve, tell me why this is so important.
Oh, Peter, it's fantastic to get you on board as a campaigner. The POA are delighted that you're with us. This is so important to my members because for 30 years, this pernicious piece of legislation has prohibited us from any form of collective bargaining, or so that we can say to our members, we don't want to do this, there's no trades dispute. It's shackled us for 30 years. So we're at the beck and call of not just a Conservative government, but Labour administration as well in the past, since 1994. And it stops us from even giving a simple instruction to say, don't do voluntary duties. That is seen as inciting industrial action.
Section 127 was repealed in Scotland just a decade ago. What was the impact of that?
Nil. The sky didn't cave in when it was repealed in Scotland. And our argument is very simple. If the Scottish government can repeal it in Scotland, surely the Westminster government can do the same. And trust us as a respectable trade union to deal with things on an equal basis with an employer. Because at the moment, the employer has the upper hand because they don't have to actually negotiate on a collective bargaining basis with us for the simple reason they just rely on this antiquated legislation, which is a breach of international law.
Thank you.
We're going to Solidarity with Cuba Friends meeting this evening. We'll also have a meeting with different unions, the Communication Workers Union. We'll meet with them tonight.
In relation to my trade union, we've come a long way in international solidarity because that's what it is. It's about international solidarity, and I'm very pleased that this year we sent 4 of our National Executive Committee to Cuba, and we sent 2 young members as well. And as part of an education programme, we're going to be sending more national officials and young delegates as well. When we're looking at the appeal, the medical aid appeal, I've come here with a very simple message. It's not just about supporting an appeal with words, it's got to be action. And I'm proud of my union. I've just spoken to our national chairman, Mark Fairhurst, and our vice chairman, Dave Todd, and I would have spoken to the deputy general secretary, Joe Simpson, but sadly he can't be here because of ill health. But I know what he would have said anyway. We've got to step up. And that's why I'm pleased to announce this evening that we're going to donate £10,000 to buy the medical aid that's so desired for the Cuban people. Viva Cuba!
We've got the meeting with Paul Forrester, who's an MP for the Ribble, which is in Lancashire. He wants to discuss the prisons in his constituency, which we're happy to do, make him aware of the problem so we can put pressure on him and maybe give us some extra investment in our prisons so we can make them safe again. And that's why it's so worthwhile attending this conference, because we can do a lot of networking and we can put people on the spot and ask the difficult questions and get the answers. Maybe that they don't want to give us, but at least we're getting there and we're getting publicity and we're meeting the right people.
So yeah, it's a matter of mingling, getting around, putting the POA's cause forward.
It's great to see the POA here. I'm a member of Parliament that has 3 prisons in my constituency, so I work quite closely with the POA reps there. Every time I speak to them, they talk about the issues that they're having with the retirement age being too late. So it's great to support the 68 Too Late campaign. And prison officers face a lot of abuse and put their lives at risk. They're doing it every day in their role, and yet they're not given the credit or the respect that they deserve. So I'm always here, always on hand to work alongside the POA. I will keep pushing in Parliament about that, reducing that retirement age, but also the fact that prison officers cannot strike. So they're pushing for their right to strike will be something else that I'll be keeping my foot on the pedal with.
We've had a lot of interest, actually. A lot of people coming to conference didn't know the POA existed, and then we're shocked to find out that we didn't have the right to strike and haven't done so for the last 30 years. So we've given them our leaflets, they're supportive of us, and we've raised our profile significantly. So I think it's been a really worthwhile venture getting a stall at Labour Party conference.